How's it going? Happy, whatever it is. You're going to have to ignore that washing machine going in the background. We're far north of Scotland in a cottage. And I haven't been on for months, and I've had nothing to say, really. You know, I'm growing old with a little bit of, dignity and peace and love and everything else I can muster up. But I'm on my way. I'm up here, and a situation has arose on my way up that I'm struggling to believe. So I've been in this cottage since yesterday, and I'm here for a couple of weeks, and I just have to get away from the madness that is Christmas. I had my family Christmas 2 weeks ago with my son and his family and my sister, blah, blah, blah. We had a get together, and now I've come away from it to probably as isolated as you can get in the far end of Scotland, you know, the top end of the west coast. Beautiful area, but I've had 80-mile-an-hour winds since I arrived. It's down to 70 today, so you can almost walk without being blown over. But no, what I've come about, and apologies for not being around, but like I say, you know, it's no point in being negative all the time. Being negative all the time just causes all kinds of, you know, illnesses. I'm still well into my Eckhart Tolle. I'm right into the power of now and a new earth, and I can't remember how many times I've read them, and I just almost live by that now. You know, when an occasion arises where something goes wrong, I tend to go to the present moment and class the situation as neutral, and basically whatever happens is the way I react to it. And if I act in a positive way, I feel better health-wise, and probably am better off health-wise through doing that. But this one really upset me, right? So this is what happened, right? I'm 400 miles from where I live, as good as 10-hour drive, minimum. I broke the journey by going to Aviemore and booked a room there for the night in Aviemore. Now, on arriving in Aviemore, I went to a Tesco's to do some shopping for the day after. You can't buy beer in Scotland, you know, before 10 o'clock. And because I'd had to split the journey, I couldn't carry food with me that was fresh, really, without, you know, I didn't have the facilities to take fresh food with me. So, anyway, on being in Tesco, I realised that my fucking debit card was missing. And I thought, what the fuck have I done with that? Now, the only possibility I could think of was that before I left home, I'd gone to a petrol station, you know, one of those outside pumps where you put your card in. I distinctly remember it saying to me, take your card out and do you want a receipt? But, you know, you're trying to do everything at the same time. I think I left the card in the machine. So thinking that maybe someone could come and, take that card, the next person after me, and because it's one of those tap cards where you can get 100 quid worth of gear without even signing or putting a pin in, I thought, I better cancel it. So I went online to cancel it, knowing I had a credit card that would, help me on my journey up here. Because let's face it, these days, a lot of people don't carry fucking cash. You know, I'm serious. You know, I can tell you about businesses I know where I live, where card machines go down, and the busiest pub you can imagine at weekend suddenly hasn't got a soul in it. Because when they turn up and find the card machine's gone, or the card machine's not working, no one's carrying cash. So they go to another pub. And I've seen these pubs so quiet, you wouldn't believe it, after just the simple fact that no one carries cash. Anyway, let me get back to what I'm saying. I cancelled the card. While I cancelled the card, at some point during the app, whatever it does, it asked me to change my password, which I did do. I knew all this time I had this credit card, do you know what I mean? I'd had this credit card 5 years. I've been pretty good with my credit lately, since all the issues I had in the past. I owe nobody anything. I was in a situation where I'd used that card for 5 years. I'd never even used the PIN. I'd never been asked for the PIN. I'd shopped in shops. I'd shopped online and paid for holidays with it. We're just having to verify by the bank. I didn't have to use the PIN. I hadn't got the PIN. I couldn't remember the PIN. But when I realised that I'd actually lost, when I realised that I didn't have the PIN and only had the credit card to back me up on this 2 weeks away, for petrol and such as like that, I thought, right, well, I better go on my app and I better ask for a PIN reminder, which you can do. It states there, PIN reminder, shows you for 10 seconds, blah, 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 blah. You write it down and you've got it for when you have a transaction over 100 quid. Well, as soon as I went on that, that was the fucking worst thing I could have done. From then on, the card's been declined every time I've tried to use it, unless I put the PIN in, which I don't fucking have. You know what I mean? I couldn't even use it for a tenner. The day before, I used it for £10 in Tesco. Not a problem, no PIN or fuck all. The day after I actually asked for a PIN reminder, that card was blocked. And it's now 3 days. And I have had the most horrendous time on the app talking to some virtual prick of a bird called Cora, who hasn't got a fucking clue what's going on. The Royal Bank of Scotland, this is. Because I'm going to actually title this fucking video with their name on it. Because I'm still here now in this. The only thing that saved me here is I'm an old brickie, right? And I always carry cash. And because I've carried cash, I should be okay. But I've tried for 3 days. I've gone from the virtual bird to I can't message it. They keep sending me phone numbers. I've got no signal. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. The only thing I've got here is a weak internet signal that's set up in the small valley I'm in. So I can use that to message. But that's, up and down. But I've been managing to get messages through. You can't email the Bank of Scotland when you're in a situation like mine. You can only phone. I'm in no position to fucking phone. 80 mile an hour fucking winds. When I came up the road, I thought the car was going to fucking turn over. So I've had to go on this Cora or whatever it is, or on the app. And their excuses are that I only recently set up online banking, which was total bollocks. And if you've only set up online banking recently, you can't for 72 hours access some of the actual, the facilities. What a load of shit. I've had online banking for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I've had online banking. The only thing that's changed was when I got in touch with them by the app 2 days ago in Abbeymoor, they asked me to change my password. I've still had the online banking all the time. So it's just nonsense. Anyway, that's gone from one extreme to the next because I have talked to X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and they've left me without a fucking pot to piss in. Yeah, I'm up here, 67 years old, got numerous fucking health fucking issues, including mental health ones. Yeah, and they have left me without a fucking pot to piss in. They don't have any cash. They haven't a clue, mate. I've contacted them and told them, and they're just saying things like, oh, well, you must wait 72 hours before you can access what's, my debit card is being sent to my home address, which is no fucking good to me because I won't be back for 2 fucking weeks. They couldn't send it up here. It's the middle of fucking nowhere. So, as I'm trying to get it round here, the only facility I had for using any kind of money was a debit card, was a credit card. And they fucking not let me use it. They won't. Every time I go on the app and I get to the place where it says, they let me change my fucking password. They took all the details of my address, everything else I have, bank codes, bank numbers, my mother's fucking maiden name. But that's not good enough for me to get, a PIN number to use a card if I actually try to, buy anything now. It's not over £100 now. I can't buy a fucking box of fucking matches with him. It won't be accepted. As soon as I put it in a machine, it says you must put the pin in. I haven't got a fucking pin. Yeah? And like I say, I've been in touch all day long today. I don't need this on holiday. All day long, on and off the fucking phone. Not the phone, messaging. To people messaging back to me saying, you must wait for this, you must... They know I haven't got a fucking halfpenny. And they've left me here with fuck all, mate. Yeah? That is absolutely frightening, mate. This is what the system's about now. It's about controlling your fucking money, mate. And if you're fucking stupid enough to let them control your money, mate, you will end up... Well, it's like I've said for fucking years, actually. You'll end up going to a theatre or a fucking football match or whatever you want, and you'll be declined because you've got no fucking credit. You know, your card's not valued, or your fucking ticket's been cancelled because you haven't paid your fucking gas bill or your electric bills. Or they've made a stupid fucking mistake, which, believe me, that's what they fucking do. But here's to the Royal Jock Bank of wankers, mate, and I mean that, mate, because they have treated me like shit, and I'm stuck up here, mate, having a few beers, and I won't let it get me down, because like I said to you before, the situation is neutral. It's how I deal with it, and I'll deal with it all right, yeah, because of my past. But the system is breaking. It's breaking down to the extent that they're leaving a 67-year-old guy up here in the far north of Scotland without a pot to fucking piss in. Yeah. Anyway, have a lovely Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. Enjoy yourselves. Too manic for me. Crazy. I popped out the other night in Cockermouth thinking I'll just go down, because I went down to these two pubs the week before. Buzzing it was. Just for a couple of hours, Saturday afternoon, 2 till 4. I went in the same two, a week ago. So I was heading up to Christmas. Fucking hell, man. Like fucking gay bars with that many men. None of them knew where the toilets were. They were all strangers. They're all out on a works fucking do, shaking each other's hands, and they fucking hated each other the rest of the year, man. So I went from that pub to the next one, and that was no better. So I came home and decided I was heading up here into the only place where I find peace. Take care, everybody. Be good. See you in a bit. Bye.